Good afternoon, lovely people. Today, I want to chat to you about something that, frankly, I'm a little bit terrified by. But before I tell you more, I think you need to understand a little bit more about the backstory. One of the more really exciting parts of my job has always been sharing an amount of the experience I've been able to gain, either firsthand or composite together from blogs or research or other people's insights. I do quite a lot of this in my employer wherever I'm working, and occasionally I try and share this with the broader community. This is SLOconf or SRECon or Increment, so on and so forth. As COVID-19 hit, the opportunities to go to conferences and meet new colleagues in person were dramatically limited, and rightfully so. We just kind of waited patiently for the world to reopen. In the meantime, I started playing with video equipment, and this sponsored videos from my workplace about being on call, observability, and distributed tracing. These videos seemed to help those new to these topics, and they became part of the standard onboarding process. I got to do this a few times, but these videos are really expensive to make, about 100 hours each, and as you can imagine, there are many demands on an engineer's time, and making videos is just not one of them. Still, I felt like we were under-leveraging the innovation and capabilities of our engineering community. If we could better empower them with some of our senior community's really hard-won knowledge, we could make our environment more productive and healthier and happier. It sat in the back of my mind for 2 years, an itch that never quite went away. I kept hacking on making prettier and prettier video content, and while I'm no YouTube sensation, I don't think there's much more I can do without actually focusing on this topic. My work in the intervening period has been tremendously satisfying, and I believe that I and my peers have worked to really substantially improve the customer experience and hopefully the quality of life of our engineering colleagues. However, recently, due to some organizational restructuring, I've faced a series of choices and moments of inflection. I could do what I've done previously in the years I've just had, or I could try and finally scratch that itch. I talked to my wife and my colleagues and my peers, and after some really challenging reflection, I decided that I'm going to try it. I'm going to try and make an SRE course. I start, well, now, and I have between now and November 30th. My work with my previous employer has ended, leaving me with no focus except to execute this course. And by December 1st, I need to have found and started a new full-time role. There's no other opportunity that I'm going to get like this one. Given this, I'm really excited to figure out whether or not this is something that we can do. The course aims to empower engineers in their career, somewhere between a software engineer and a staff engineer, to understand how to make a reliable customer experience without sacrificing the health and well-being of engineers who strive to make that experience work. After doing this course, I would expect new learners to be able to, number one, they should know what site reliability engineering is, the areas that it covers, and the kind of broad approach that it takes. Number two, be able to make software observable. Number three, be able to deploy software to the cloud, wherever that is. Number four, understand how to detect and respond to critical production issues confidently and collaboratively. Number five, understand the different trade-offs, money, on-call health, developer velocity, and reliability. Number six, know different strategies to consult with maybe product delivery teams. Now, to do this course, you're going to need some software development experience, and where this course makes specific references to a language, I'll be using Go. We'll cover a really broad range of topics, things like how do systems even break? Or how can we design systems? How do we validate our software as part of the release? Or how do we release our software safely? How can we modify our software safely at runtime with some sort of configurable property? Or how do we understand what our system is even doing in production? How do we respond to production incidents? And then how do we stop and learn from them afterwards? How can we articulate and set guidance on operational trade-offs? And how can we work with other teams specifically on reliability topics? The goal is to try and cover as much of this as possible within 8 hours of your time or less, making sure that you get as much value as possible. So far, I intend to publish it on Udemy for the company-friendly price of 199 euros. Now, I'm really genuinely excited to see if I can make this work, but there's still an enormous amount of challenge ahead. I'm going to need some help to make this a success. There are a few ways that you could help if you so desired, and the first and most critical is feedback. You'll notice I've been posting material to YouTube, to andrewhowden.com, to LinkedIn. This is all practice material. I'm learning what I need to do to make a compelling course. I'll continue to do this over the next 12 weeks and hopefully beyond, but I really need feedback from you the most. Things like, is this content actually valuable for you? And if it is, why? If it's not, why not? Are you able to follow my line of thinking? Are there ways in which I could make this more straightforward for you to understand? Is the way it's presented useful? Do you prefer, for example, written content or video content or shorts or maybe something else I haven't thought of yet? Is the content accurate and comprehensive? Am I missing anything you feel is important? You should just comment on the material directly as you see it, and I invite you to be very direct. You'll be doing me a favor. The internet by and large can be an unforgiving place, and I need your perspectives early to help me evolve this approach. The next thing that I would really love from you is to just engage with the material. If you find the content interesting, let's chat about it, ask questions, raise comments, disagree, or otherwise talk about it directly in the comments or kind of within your community. This solves two really substantial problems. The first problem is that it helps me connect with you. As I make these transitions, these connections are really just vital for me. Number two, I will understand you more. The more I understand you, the better I can help craft that helpful content. Lastly, if you find it useful, subscribe. And when the course comes out, work with your employer to buy it on your learning and development budget. Ultimately, this will determine whether or not I make more of this material or whether or not I shift to focus on other areas. As a bonus, I'll publish a coupon code for subscribers of this channel that will give you a substantial discount in the case your organization doesn't give this much love to your learning and development budgets. So I'm excited to get to it. This is an urge I've had for a good couple of years now, and the moment has come where I have the opportunity to pursue it. And while it's a little bit terrifying, I'm really committed on delivering on it. The material will cover everything designed to help you engineer reliable systems or drive reliability commitments within your organization. I won't be able to do it alone, and I will frequently stumble along the way, but your help will be vital to making this a success. You can do this simply by giving me feedback or engaging with the material or buying in when you see the opportunity. The project ahead, frankly, feels like an enormous mountain to scale. That said, the mountain gets no smaller, and we get nowhere by thinking about how to scale it. Let's just do it. You can help me out. Just subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later.